Where are you from?
I'm from the Northern Hemisphere, up there in Colorado.
Northern Hemisphere?
Yeah, Colorado, Midwest. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Midwest.
okay. All right, got it.
You are now tuning into The Vibe with Your Boys podcast. Starring Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy. You dig?
It's your boy Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy, and welcome to another episode of Vibe with Your Boys podcast. How you living? How you feeling, Mega?
That was funny.
Come on, what he just did?
Yeah, and I'm good, man. Everything's all right,
good?
man. Can't complain, man. Can't complain.
Great to hear. If you haven't noticed already, we got a special guest with us.
Yes, sir.
Breaking news reporter himself, John Gustavo. How's it going, man?
Well, as long as I'm filming, everything's going all right.
Always filming, everything good.
Absolutely, you know.
Most definitely. That's great to hear, man. Pleasure having you. Like I was telling you before we started filming, like in the work that you're doing in the area, very motivational. And you know, in this day and age to where people don't really like watching the news, it's more like social media. I feel like a lot of people are gravitating towards what you do, and it's helped keeping the community informed. So I just want to, you know, shout you out in that regard.
Well, bless you. I appreciate that, you know. I do my best.
Most definitely. And so let's get into a bit of your backstory. Before we started, you said you're from Colorado?
Right. I was born in that area, you know, and then I was shipped here to South Florida at a younger age. Just the cold wasn't my thing, you know. And here in South Florida is where I love to tell people that I'm from. You know, I like it more. It sounds more exotic.
Well, what age did you move here?
Around the age of 1 year old, around there.
Oh, so yeah, you were in South Florida.
Little guy, exactly.
Oh, so yeah, you didn't even experience the cold.
No, not too much.
You were trying to make it seem like you could have messed with the cold.
Absolutely, you know.
Got you. And so you're from the Lauderdale area. That's where you...
Yes. Originally, I always lived in Lauderhill, then moved to Lauderdale Lakes, then moved back to Lauderhill.
Okay,
and,
so those areas, basically, that's home.
That is my homeland.
Okay.
I know those areas pretty well.
Gotcha. How old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24 right now. So were you...
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunate?
I wish I was younger, like your ages. That would be great, you know.
We the same age. How old do you think I am?
Nice.
I'm 24.
Oh, okay.
I'm 24.
Well, that's good.
Why you say that? You'll do a few things differently or something?
Absolutely. I most likely would have started filming at a younger age and probably achieved a bigger audience by now, you know. Well,
I feel like you're doing pretty good for yourself, and I definitely get what you mean. But,
I appreciate that.
You know, you started. That's the most important thing, and you're going full throttle at it, and you're good at it. So
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know,
that's another great thing. So where did you go to high school?
I went to high school in Coral Springs, J.P. Taravella. Right.
Okay. And from that age, when did you know, okay, I want to, be in the media, news report? Like, when did you get that love for that?
It's a very, it's a good story. It actually started when I was around in 2008. There was a pawn shop in Lauderdale Lakes that was robbed. Two individuals robbed it. They climbed through the roof. And in that pawn shop, it's located on State Road 7 and Oakland Park Boulevard. There's a Goodwill right next to it. And I used to love shopping at that Goodwill for antiques, cameras. Right.
Yeah.
So the pawn shop's called People's Pawn and Jewelry. When I went there, I saw a news van, the antenna going up in the air. I saw the news reporter with the tie, the news van, the tripod, the big camera, and I was in love. This is for me. So from that year, slowly I bought a camera, and since after high school, that's when I started filming. It's that story that inspired me.
So in 2008, so you're about 10.
Yeah, around 10, 11 years old, most likely.
So from then, you said, okay, that's what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, this is action. This is something I believe is meant for me, you know?
Gotcha, okay. And then you mentioned that you said you would have started, doing the breaking news reporter, the Action 55 News earlier. So between that time, of course, you had the love for it. What were you into or trying to get into?
So on my senior year, my last year, that's what I wanted to become, right? After high school, things got very ugly. The adult life started, and
Adult life, yeah.
I went into automotive, worked as a mechanic for 3 years to have the money to buy the expensive broadcast cameras, the video editor, and all the equipment. Part of it's on my left, this microphone wires and all these bigger cameras. I finally stopped that, and I'm still in school and all that, but that's where I started filming like no tomorrow, once I was able to afford that equipment.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you walk around with the equipment everywhere you go?
Everywhere. You always have to be prepared. It's right here. And
okay, hold on.
That's dope, man. I like that.
No.
Thank you. I mean,
what about the suit?
The suit. Well, I'm an old school guy. I love having the suit. I think it's different.
Okay.
I can't rock the swagger you young folks have. It'll be nice, you know.
John, you're young too.
Oh,
we're the same age.
I appreciate that, you know.
But that's good. Yeah. So even like before you kind of got into the, you know, doing the news and stuff, you would prefer to dress like more professional.
Yeah, a lot of folks would tell you they always saw me in a suit in high school because, well, I loved it. It was cheaper to buy at a thrift shop, and it's just a beautiful style.
True.
No one wears suits in South Florida. It's too hot. So it's just it's unique. Makes you stand out, you know.
Gotcha. Most definitely. So nowadays, and we're gonna get into like your work and stuff. Nowadays, when you walk around with your equipment,
I do.
You're in the suit. So when you get a call or however you get the notification, you're there on the scene. You're ready.
I do my best to get there as fast as possible to get the best shots, and hopefully news stations will love that enough to want to use it, incorporate it into their channel. Not every scene I arrive early, traffic, and it's complicated, but I do my best to get the best shots for the audience so they can really feel immerse in that, you know?
Most definitely. So let's go to when you actually started Action 55 News or started, filming at the news scenes. When did that start?
Well, the Action 55 News, I want to look more professional.
Yeah.
When you're in journalism school, sometimes you might put like a little logo like that so they can see it and say you're with a station, just so you can get more, look more professional. So that's why I kind of put that on there. I like the name of it, and I now put that in my videos so I can look more professional, have something to say.
Okay.
Like your brand, like the brand.
A brand.
So that started more recently.
Yeah, more recently. Before I was just upload a video and that's it.
Okay, so I went down your page. Did you start like actually doing like reporting the news in 2020? Because it seemed like it was kind of around in the middle of the pandemic when the marches and stuff were going on.
Yeah.
So
that was I actually started filming news videos since 2016, but very basic. Not just because I was in school. But then once the pandemic started, I said, let me really get into this, because that's when I was on my last year of working automotive. I had the money and I can kind of leave it to start filming and getting out there more. So that's kind of when it started.
Gotcha. Okay. And then you started then, and then like I said, I noticed you were filming and out there with the marches and getting, the shots of that. So how was that experience and of talking to those people, interviewing them during, those pivotal moments of protest for Black Lives Matter and things like that?
It was a very wonderful movement. I condemned them. I commend them for their brave actions. It wasn't easy for most of those folks doing protests because, again, there were tear gassed, there were shot by rubber bullets, and then pepper spray was in the air. It was a very intense situation.
Yeah.
But it was wonderful for them to get their message out there. Just to see over thousands of individuals walk the streets with everybody together was something wonderful. You don't see that often, so it was just good. You have to raise awareness for.
Most definitely. We appreciate that for you.
Absolutely.
And as well, how was that experience? Because like you said, those things are going on and you're right there with your camera, you're filming.
Right.
You're not, officially with the news. So to the police, you may be considered, somebody that they may deem as quote unquote hostile or, with the hostile crowd. So was there a fear for you? And if so, how was your experience navigating through like tear gas and things like that?
Sure. Anyone can always have a fear, but I love this. I love news reporting so much that I don't mind. I don't have a fear. The fear would not get footage. Obviously, when you approach different folks, remember, they're at a breaking point. They have anger. They're upset. So you have to approach them. You have to get on their level, okay? And you have to ask them questions. You know, you have to approach them on a good aspect, you know, because you don't want to just remember, like you just said, they might view you as a hostile person because they might not know you. They might not know if you might give them the good enough questions or stuff like that. So you just approach everyone with calmness, you know. Talk to them first. Always talk to people first before you interview them, you know. That way you can build a bond, a relationship. Yeah. That's with everybody. Again, with that Black Lives Matter movement, it was something, definitely a breathtaking experience. I mean, I loved it, you know. I wish I went to the north where it was going on in those other states. Yeah. Because that's where it was really going down, you know.
Gotcha.
So I can really, you know.
You said that, are you currently in school now?
Yes.
Journalism?
Because of the pandemic, I'm doing my first year of Broward College, and I'm slowly doing classes. Because I also have to work and get the money, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's tough, you know.
The grind.
School's tough for me. You know? I'm not the brightest. I'm getting there, you know.
So what are you majoring in? Or do you plan on majoring in?
The major was first is mass communications, but now I'm doing journalism. But I can actually do both of them. If it doesn't matter which, you know.
What made you go the unconventional route? Because usually people go to journalism school, start getting their feet wet, and then continue in their career. What made you go the opposite, where you already started, and then I'm assuming you're in journalism school to sharpen your craft.
Yeah.
So, but what made you go that route instead of the conventional route?
Well, I don't want to just sit at home. Okay. I want to put videos of myself out there in the crime scenes and the action, so people can say, "Hey, this guy is actually getting out there." And some reporters that work in the news, they told me that's a great idea. You know, keep doing that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's always good to get experience. All right, do the physical stuff. The book work is great, right? But you have to get out there. You got to get dirty.
The work is the actual experience.
That's true, because you engage with people.
On-job training.
You go through, you know, the hell of it. The camera, the heavy tripod, the driving, the writing stories and editing and everything. That's the best experience.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, as far as reporting the news, get into the scenes, how are you there so fast?
Oh, I love that question. So, it's like this. If you are listening to a police radio, right? Or if someone drives by a deadly accident or some crime scene, they say, "Hey, John, listen, I saw this happen on Northwest 31st Street and such. Here's a video or a picture. You should go."
That's happening now. People are seeing stuff and they're sending it to you and like giving you like in terms of like, "Hey, go out there."
This is why I love people, the community, because without them, I'm nothing. They let me know. That's how I'm able to get the news so fast and get to the scene on time. Or before police or fire can show up, you know. And you know.
Sometimes are you beating the news there?
Yeah, you gotta understand. Some channels are in, you know, Miramar, Miami. They're farther away. Sometimes they get later because they're trying to confirm details. So sometimes I have to arrive early, where they love to use my footage because I have to arrive early.
Yeah, so, and I've seen that too recently. Sometimes the news actually uses the footage that you were able to get.
I'm very happy. Yeah, that warms my heart. It makes me feel complete.
I mean, you're good.
How many people on your team? Like, is it a one-man team, two-man team?
Unfortunately, it is only me. I edit, shoot, everything on my own.
What's a day in the life of you? Like, from the morning you wake up to the time you go to sleep?
Well, this is how it works. I wake up.
A busy day, I should say.
Oh, busy day. Okay. So I wake up, and I usually wait around for a call or something that goes on the police radio. There's a shooting that occurred here in some area, Lauderhill, Lauderlake, Fort Lauderdale, and I go there as fast as possible in a safe manner, and I start recording it. If I'm lucky enough to interview somebody or wait until I get enough shots that I'm satisfied, I can leave, go home, and edit everything, and that takes about an hour sometimes, less, depending on how much video I have. I get that on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, everywhere, and then on my stories. And after that, I'm waiting for another story to come. If there is no stories that happen on a day, it's okay. I'll look up for police reports, and I'll make stories, a voiceover on the microphone, and I'll upload. Like a 48-hour series, you'll see those videos.
I want to talk about that too.
Yeah, when I can't go anywhere because there's something going on, I find something else to do, you know. And that's basically the day in the life. I don't do much except that, really.
So as far as the editing and everything, is that's been smooth for you? You like you're able to work at a fast pace because you got to get it out and everything like that?
Yeah, in the breaking news speed, you have to meet a deadline, pressure points. So I try my best to get those videos out there because, you know, you really need to get it out to the community. They have to know what's happening in the community, especially when they're asking, hey, what's going on? What's all this police presence, you know? But get it out and always let them know I have this much information. As soon as I receive an update, I'll update the story. Stay tuned for that update. You know?
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. Does that, at any point, does it ever get overwhelming?
You know, I love this so much that, well, I'm not in a news channel, so I don't feel that overwhelming pressure, you know. But yes, it can get overwhelming on my behalf when I want to get that video out fast, but I have to wait for confirmed information, right? You can't just say, some people are like, well, what's the name of the victim? What is the full extent? But you can't get those details so far because, you know, it's Marcy's Law, or you have to wait. You just have to wait, you know?
Gotcha. Okay. And then as far as you're, you know, at a police scene, you know, crime scene.
Sure.
You're going to these scenes so frequently. Are the police like starting to like be familiar with you, like, or?
Oh, yes. I love that because it feels awesome when they come to you. Hey, I know you. I see your videos on TikTok, Instagram. You do a great job. And I asked them, wow, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah. Hey. So one time I went to this scene where a gentleman was ran over by a car. And a police officer said, hey, Mr. Instagram famous, just step back, you know, but we know who you are, and that feels amazing, you know. It feels so good for people, professionals, to be recognizing your hard work, you know.
He basically looked at you as one of the media.
Hopefully. I always tell them I'm an aspiring news reporter, and one day I'll be in the media. But yes, it does feel great when they say that.
Gotcha.
Is that a goal of yours to actually, do you plan on being independent for as long as possible, or do you plan on going to like a big news reporting?
No, I really want to get hired. Okay. I really want to become part of a local news station, whatever station around the country, hold this microphone, their mic flag, and represent their channel. That's my biggest dream, you know. I always wanted that. As an independent, you don't really make it much unless you get a lot of people loving you and following you. But I always want to be part of a news channel, you know. Grow in it, learn, you know.
Okay. I mean, and that's great. I understand that's your dream and all, but I would also say as well, like the following, especially down here in South Florida, Broward, I would say it's a culture of, you know, people not really caring to know what's going on.
Sure.
You know, sometimes, you know, we get attracted with the life of, you know, we got beaches, clubs, different outings and goings, to where people may just not be aware of actually what's going on in their area. So when I see a page like yours, covering the area, you know, and people are reposting it, something happens and I'm hearing, you know, people I'm talking to, oh, that breaking news reporter page, you know, they posted this. It lets me know that, hey, don't sell yourself short. Like you're reaching people, you know, so, and I'm sure as the more you go and as time goes past, that's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So it's good at least to where even if you, when you do get to those news stations, you have your resume, you have a whole catalog of stuff to bring to them. So I think that's very dope as well.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about how you said like you kind of do like the first 48 thing to where you look at a police report, go over the details, and then you kind of reenact it. That when I seen it, I was like, that kind of reminded me of like American Most Wanted type thing. Did you like those type of shows? Or
I love those shows. I always love crime documentaries. I want to make my own version of it. You know, because it's extra content. I think it's a different direction people might be interested in watching, you know. And I do some effects to it, you know, some soundtracks, just so it can immerse you more. Rather than just watching, you know, me on... People will get bored of me, so I have to, like, put a lot of different shots, you know? Right.
And with that, I see you doing reenactments, but you get people to help you reenact with that.
Well, those are actually videos that I've shot years ago, and So I always film a lot of stuff. So I have a lot of old reserve footage. So if you see a footage of a car, of a street, it may be older footage, but I tie it in together so it can help aid the visuals, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is just, you've taken so much film from prior, you're able to use film and create new content with it.
Essentially, especially from these crime scenes, I don't like to let video go to waste. So I recycle it and put it into the new stuff. Obviously, every series you see will see relevant footage. But if I don't have something, I'll just go ahead and recycle it, you know, just so it can help.
You said you're from Colorado, but what is your ethnicity, like your nationality?
Sure. I always tell folks I'm mixed.
Okay.
You know, I have a family that comes from, I'm mixed with Hispanic and a little bit of Black and potentially Middle Eastern, but I don't know that much. I'm still trying to figure out, because most of my family, you know, they don't exist. It's just me and my sister, and that's really it. Okay. So I'm still trying to know the rest of the family. You know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's
as far as you know for sure, Hispanic and Black.
Yeah, it would be in that mix.
Okay, and I'm listening to you and I'm seeing the work. Where do you get like the work ethic from? Was it from watching adults or parents or like? Explain that, because that's amazing.
I apologize. Could you just repeat that last phrase real quick?
Like, where do you get the work ethic from?
Oh, the work ethic.
Yeah.
Well, I love this so much that I really want to pull forward that my work ethic. Well, ever since I worked in hard jobs like, you know, the car industry, you know, I always believed in move fast. Don't stop. Don't slow down, because then someone else might take your position or you might get left in the behind. So keep pushing forward. Don't stop. But my work ethic is, you know, keep working until your joints turn to powder. You know, not too much of that, but you know.
Is it hard to have a personal life doing what you do?
Yeah. I can't have a relationship, unfortunately, because I have to put a lot of focus into this. You know, well, I still can, but I can't hang out with friends.
It's not the
easy.
Easiest thing to do.
Exactly. You can't go to, you know, can't have fun, can't go out with friends, can't play video games, you know. Can only stay focused on this. I can do all that once I hopefully make it in the future. And
as well, it's your passion, so you're having fun doing this.
It's fun. It's beautiful. It's enlightening. Now, sure, you are covering deadly scenes, shootouts. You're covering tragedy. But the love you get from it is recording and storytelling, and connecting with the audience, because the satisfaction that I get from it is that, you know, you get to work with video equipment and you get to educate the public on what's happening. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be, you just have to tell them what's happening. And that's my satisfaction. You guys get to know what's happening in your community by me explaining what happened, you know? Gotcha. That makes me happy, you know?
All right. So basically, going back to the work ethic, that comes from you just realizing what you have to do to get ahead. So it wasn't like, you know, any adult or parent or anybody that inspired you. It just...
Yes. Since I don't have a big of a family, you know, the adults that do inspire me are strangers.
Okay.
You know, I look up to friends. One of my best friends, his father is almost like a father figure to me. You know, something I never had. Other adults that are influential and really inspired me are news reporters here in South Florida. They have talked to me and they filled me with so much influence, and they told me great things that I felt rejuvenated. That is from the work ethic. I see them, I'm like, I got to be just like them, you know?
Got you. You have any favorite reporters or anchors, like nationally? Like, you know, you have Diane Sawyer, Robin Roberts, you know, a couple of local anchors, Joanne Strader and things like that. Like, what are some of your favorites?
Absolutely. I love them all. You know, I have a lot of them, especially national and local as well. You know, there's ones that I love and I'm a fan of them, you know, and I look up to them. So yeah, I have a lot of them.
Okay. And as far as like how you do certain things, like you said, we were talking before we started.
Yeah.
You said your voice.
Right.
You try to talk in that way, you know, as much as possible. Was there like videos and stuff you would look at to, you know, practice, or where did the practice come from?
Part of this voice comes from videos and movies I used to watch when I was a young kid. Unfortunately, we didn't have the resources to watch modern shows, so I was stuck watching older movies and old shows. And that's called a transatlantic accent. If you look it up, it's those guys that speak like the 50s and 60s, and they have that old-time voice. Because I was stuck watching those movies, part of that voice implemented onto me. And that's just the way that my voice was. Because it's from little, you know, you learn it. And the accent stuck to me. Now it's part of my identity. I love it, you know?
Got you.
You said that you want to do docuseries, crime docuseries. Is it unscripted or scripted? Like, do you...
No, well, part of it, yes, is scripted because you have, from the police report, you take information, you write it down, and you go off that. Unscripted stuff would be most like if you're giving your opinion on something. On some things, you might go off-scripted. You know, if you're speaking live, there's no script in front of you, no teleprompter, so you have to analyze and narrate the scene, and that's unscripted in a way, yeah.
Gotcha, okay. And I want to also touch on, we've been talking about your work, just touch on you as a person.
Yes.
I know the workload, I know you're working a lot. What does John do on any downtime he has? It's maybe after a long day. Is there any shows, music? What do you do on your downtime? What do you enjoy?
Well, what I do in my downtime, I might visit the swap shop, a thrift shop. I love connecting.
Still to this day, you still love it?
Oh, yeah. I love connecting with anything.
You're a thrifter?
Yes, I am. I love anything that's vintage, retro, and I look for cool stuff like that. Sometimes I might repair antiques, get my old stuff working again. I might watch news videos or movies that can help me out with my speech and all that. Learn how to edit videos on watching different editors and stuff like that. I don't have much other hobbies, unfortunately, you know, because I'm so stuck with this.
So, I'm not going to lie, like, sure. I'm amazed.
Yeah, this whole time I'm looking at him.
I'm happy to hear that.
Because it's like, even when you're not working, you're doing something that can only help you with your passion.
I'm very serious about it. You know,
it's like you love what you do that much, and I feel like that's so inspiring. Like that's like wow.
It's something that I cannot live without. I cannot do anything else. I just want to do this. I will feel like a human being, 100% complete. Anything else, I'll feel empty. Like when I used to be a car mechanic. Working in an automobile shop just depleted me. It just felt terrible, you know?
Got you. Okay. What about music? Any music that you like?
Yeah.
What type of music?
So I always tell folks to ask me, what's your favorite music, John? Well, I say it's anything that sounds good to my ears. It could be rap, classical, rock, alternative, old school hip hop. It could be anything that's, you know, synth 80s, lo-fi music. All that stuff is absolutely detrimental to me.
Okay. Any like particular artists or songs that like, you know, you may play while you're working or anything like that?
Yes. If I feel I would play artists that would play on a synthesizer. I have old time artists like Don Cherry. I love him. You know, he definitely inspired me, you know. And then modern artists. I'm not really too fond of modern artists. I respect them, but I love the older music. I love 80s and 90s and early 2000s. I think in 2010 and under, I think those folks are very talented, very rich, you know?
Got you. And this, I definitely want to talk about.
Sure.
These gas prices. John, you driving around. You driving around, you go from scene to scene, Miramar, Lauderhill. John, we got to
drive a van?
I wish I had a van. No, I have a Lincoln Town Car, a V8. Yeah, it's too bad on gas. Unfortunately, because of these gas prices, I can't drive out too much. I have to limit my budget, and they're just too high. You know, unfortunately, I have to stay home. It's scary, you know. It breaks my heart.
You don't have another job, like you don't have any other job, like this is your only job, like. Yeah,
unfortunately, I'm working other small-time jobs just to make enough money to survive. You know,
so I'm not right now. You're full throttle with this.
I am full throttle with this news reporting because I know the risk, the investment can take me far.
Most deaf.
But I'm just trying to survive as much as possible. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Absolutely. You know, right now it's an all risk. You know, it's an emergency. So I'm doing my best.
You're doing great.
I appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen. I really do. You know,
you're doing great.
You touched on it, but I want to say because
go ahead.
Even though we're not into reporting and daily stuff, but we're doing something similar with bringing
media.
You are.
Yeah, and with just us, with two of us, sometimes it's like it's just all over the place.
Okay.
So to see you're by yourself. You're editing. You're running to these scenes. You're doing this. You're doing that, and to be able to put out content constantly. I don't know if you know. But that is very, like, that's something that you should be proud of.
Bless you. I appreciate that, you know?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, because right now, what I'm doing, I'm a sponge right now. I'm soaking it in from you.
That's amazing.
So, sleeping, like.
Do you sleep?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Sometimes it's dangerous. I fall asleep, and I might miss a scene. But I'll take the right. I get a little bit of sleep, you know.
Wait, like you drink like coffee and stuff?
I'm sorry?
You drink like coffee and stuff, or
yeah?
Like,
my mother makes some good coffee, but I don't have access to that all the time. So I just try to stay awake as much as possible. I get my sleep when I can, you know.
When you can. So between 2 and 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You not sleep?
No, I'm usually awake most of the midnights and early mornings. I get 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
4 or 5.
And then 2 hours of sleep later on at the day when I get the chance, you know? And that's how I survive.
All right, let me ask you this.
Sure.
This comes from, I want to know this from the bottom of my heart.
Sure, say anything. Yeah, anything.
20 years from now.
Okay.
Where do you see her? No, I mean, obviously you want to be with a news station.
Yeah.
Well, where do you see her? Like, what's the ultimate goal for you?
The ultimate goal.
In general, life, career.
Life,
I just want to make it as a news reporter. I want to have a pretty big following, so the audience can grow an attachment towards me, and I want to have my own home somewhere here in this area, close by, and my own antique car that I used to own. I just want to be stable. That's all I want. Sure, riches can be fine and money, but I just want to make us a news reporter. I'll be satisfied with that. Have my studio, you know, but just be a news reporter. I think that's what I feel I want to be. And have the money to support my lifestyle, you know?
That is dope, man. Man, I like you, man.
Yeah, bless you. Thank you.
That's dope, man.
That's all. I'm not asking for $1 million, you know? I'm not asking for all these benefits and wealth. I just want to do what I always wanted, you know?
Listen, John. I have nowhere near close to $1 million.
Yes.
But I think I can say you have $1 million work ethic.
Oh, bless. Like, if you gentlemen say that, that means a lot to me, you know?
Dang, man. This is inspiring. So
right.
Back to the docuseries, right?
Yes.
All right, so how can I say this? All right, so you watch shows like Law and Order and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my...
Yeah. He watched every single season in 2 weeks.
I watched the older episodes because I like that older stuff.
SVU?
Huh?
Law and Order Special Victims Unit or the older Law and Order Criminal?
I like to watch the first ones that aired in the 80s and the 90s because they look more of my style.
Okay.
And I like that a lot.
Okay, so back to my original question. So obviously you've been on a lot of scenes. You've seen a lot of crazy
yes, I have.
stuff, you know, heartbreaking or whatever. If somebody came to you and approached you to be like a consultant for like a project they're working on, whether it's a film or whether it's a show, being that what you know, is that something you'll be open to? Yeah,
I mean anything that can, that's always fun as long as it's, you know, I'm down with that. You know, if someone wants to film a movie or a documentary, I love that stuff. You know.
Got you, man. Well, man, you got anything else you want to talk to John about? I mean.
I do, but it's so much like my mind is like...
Take your time, you know, no rush unless...
No, to be honest, I don't know how much time you have left. We probably going to talk more after these captains go off. I'm just sorry. Because
that's usually how it goes. Questions just start popping up when we get off camera. But
before we get off camera, John, I just want to say, man, keep doing what you're doing. I'm pretty sure you're going to keep doing it, but I just want to say, keep doing it, man, because I'm sure you're inspiring others. You're definitely inspiring me.
Oh, thank you.
And
I love that.
What you're doing, like I said before, I feel like it's very much needed because it's keeping people aware to where I feel like they maybe wouldn't have been, you know, in the social media era that we're in. Yeah, man, just keep doing you. Be you.
Absolutely. Listen, if I'm still living and breathing, there's no stopping me, you know?
Most definitely. And let the people know where to find you, all your stuff.
Sure.
Let them know.
All you have to do is type in John Gustavo, and you'll find me on all social media. Or you can just type in the Breaking News Reporter. And that's where you'll be able to find my videos.
Okay. And Mega, anything you want to add before we get off, man?
Nah, man, I'm good, man.
It's Kyle the Kid, Mega the Boy. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And we out.
You dig?
Yes, sir.
Take care.